I just want to start this video by saying Eboni is allowed to have whatever preferences she wants. That is her business, that is her prerogative. But the way she went about saying it was out of pocket. This all started when Eboni interviewed Iyanla Vanzant on her show, and they started talking about relationships, and Iyanla Vanzant asked her, like, okay, well, would you be willing to date a bus driver? And she says, I mean, if he owned the bus company. And Iyanla took her to school and said this.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date a bus driver. But we think that it's another human being's responsibility to give us what we need instead of us building together. I could build with a bus driver. I'd have my little stash over on the side in my prenup, but I could build with a bus driver. I think some of the criteria that we look for in the reality of today keeps us unhappy, keeps us angry, keeps us imbalanced. And then when the men show up, we want to beat them up because they're not living up to our standards and criteria. And it's not working, beloved. It's just not working. So it's not that it's bad or wrong. It's obsolete. It's obsolete. We have to come up with a new way of being. I don't believe in carrying a man. A man has to do for himself.
So you heard that. Iyanla Vanzant politely schooled her, gave her a nudge in the right direction. Said, maybe, reevaluate some of the things you're looking for. Maybe not, totally outcast a dude from your dating pool just because he doesn't own the bus company. Do something like that. However, she doubled down on her statement. So a day later, she posts this response, and I was expecting her to, do like a little apology, sort of like, my words may have come across as though I was talking down on blue collar workers or bus drivers, and that's not what I wanted to do. These are hardworking people, that deserve love and, things of that nature. No, this heifer didn't do that. Listen what this heifer did.
So out of the 50,000 plus comments posted on social, I only saw a handful that even considered the possibility of a bus owner being a more aspirational position and recognizing that I am actually speaking and pouring into the ascension of black men when I said what I said. But see, no, some of y'all were too busy naming and shaming me personally and black women in general as undesirable, gold diggers, and much worse. Now, I suspect that some of y'all are the same men that were bringing home C's and D's on your report cards, only to then be coddled by parents that said, well, that's okay, as long as you're doing your best. Well, listen, I love and believe in the excellence of black men. So no, my dear, C's and D's or any other form of mediocrity is not okay. No, I will not create a soft place for you or anybody that I love to fall comfortably into the bigotry of low expectations. So I'm going to say one more time, there's absolutely nothing wrong with driving a bus. My mother Gloria drove one for years. But could it be that black America has been sold a narrative of average, regular, and typical being good enough for us? Well, see, that's called white supremacy. And in this case, it takes the form of conditioning black Americans to happily accept being a permanent American underclass. But see, because I know the truth about black folk in America, no, average is not and will never be good enough for me. And the gag is, I don't think it's good enough for you either.
Why are you talking down to people like that? That's so offensive. We need to aspire to be more than that, be more than bus drivers. You don't know what these people have gone through in their lives. First of all, driving a bus for a city, I heard that make good money with them good government benefits. And these are the same people that go and buy your books, watch your shows, so you can sit on television and talk down to them. You made this look even worse on yourself with the response. I just don't understand why you couldn't have gone up in front of that camera, even if it was a bullshit apology.
I am so sorry if I offended the blue-collar community, bus drivers. That was not my intention. You guys provide a great service to our country. I respect you. Thank you for your service.
Nah, she ain't do none of that. She just doubled down and said, you average, you mediocre. We need to aspire to be better as black people. So she went on The Breakfast Club today, and DJ Envy got into that ass when they were talking about those comments, honey. So you want to watch? Let's watch.
Understand what people were mad about,
Yeah.
and understand what people were upset about. So when you're talking about all this brother this, and the black man this, and the white supremacy this, and this, that, and the other, that's all to the side of how you felt about that quote unquote average job, right? And I'll be honest with you, right? And one of the comments that I said, and maybe I'm not sure, right? The guy was like, you talk about all this about lifting a brother up and lifting this up and white supremacy and what you do for our people. And then the first thing the brother said was, but your fiance was white. And I'm sitting there like, how do you talk about how much you're uplifting and how much you're going for black people, but that's not necessarily what you're even looking for?
Well, first of all,
Paging Dr. Umar, damn.
Well,
No,
let's
that's the
address
message I
it,
said.
and
And if I'm wrong,
let's not skip a beat. So, I would love to know how you, Envy, know what I'm looking for, because we never had the conversation.
I don't know.
But you just
I'm telling you what
framed it.
people are saying on comments what I've read, and I'm talking for them. I'm not a bus driver. I'm speaking for the average person out there, because I feel for them, because the bus drive to average person are what keeps these lights on here on the Breakfast Club.
That's right.
They keep me booking
Envy,
shows.
nobody is saying. Okay, first of all, this is not about you booking shows.
I'm
This
just telling
is
you how
about-
I feel. So when you shit on the people that
No, first
ride
of all,
with me, I ride
Envy, you're
with them.
dead ass wrong for framing it as me shitting on them.
You don't think it was shitting on them?
I know it. First of all, I know it wasn't. I think what you're saying
Have
right
you
now
read the
is
comments of how people
irresponsible.
feel?
I think what you're saying
Do
is
you understand how people
irresponsible.
feel? Do you listen to the
Envy,
calls, how people feel?
I think what you are framing right now
No.
in this moment is highly irresponsible.
How?
Because I'm going to, if you listen, I'm going to tell
listening.
you. Because if you were to listen to all of the full Iyanla interview, the full sidebar, the full episode of Holding Court, nowhere in any of that commentary did I say a cross or negative word about the working class of Black America, of America broadly, or Black men. I'm going to get to the why was my fiance. Envy, let me finish this statement.
Do you know what
I'm
people
going
feel?
to get to.
Just because
but
you
I
didn't
don't
mean to
deal
hurt
in
somebody,
feelings.
just
First
because
of
you
all,
didn't
I
mean to
don't
affect
deal-
somebody doesn't mean you didn't hurt a community.
I don't
can say
deal
anything
in
about somebody and be
feelings.
like, I didn't mean to hurt you, but if you hurt people, you hurt people. If people feel a way about you, they feel a way about you, because those people that you talked about are the people that buy your books, that listen to this show, and they're hurt. They
What
feel a
about,
way.
Ebony, what about words like
no,
average,
I'm gonna get to-
mediocrity,
Oh, God.
typical, and the bigotry of low expectations? I think those are the
That
words that hurt the
people.
working
You
class.
can sit here and say, no, I didn't hurt nobody. You hurt people out there that
Envy.
buy your books and follow you and support you.
You asked me
But
to be
also, if the shit
quiet.
fit-
Y'all, please. Y'all asked me to be quiet. I listened to your full statement. I understand you
And I
have a
let you talk
feeling
for
about
22
it.
minutes, and I just spoke for 60
But she
seconds.
is here to talk to him.
I know,
So
but
let her-
I'm just saying,
let-
I just spoke for 60 seconds.
we got ours off already. Let Ebony
I did.
talk.
I'm just returning what she's saying.
Go
But
ahead, go
don't
ahead,
act like I didn't let her speak. She spoke for 22
Absolutely.
minutes.
Go ahead, Ebony. Let her talk. Don't do that. Let her
Damn, Ebony, can you show some sort of remorse? Something? Because you clearly offended a bunch of people. But you're so much in your pride, your boss bitch energy, that you can't even give a light apology. A light little bitty apology. I don't know. And then my other thing is too, after she left the Breakfast Club, she's going to post this picture on her Instagram showing the different ethnic compositions and the different income groups of each one. And at the bottom of the income group, it's African Americans at $35,000 a year. Now, of course, people should aspire to be more. And we as Black people are more than capable to excelling of the highest of the heights and making the most amount of money. But taking out race, not everybody can be a lawyer. Not everybody can be a doctor. Not everybody can have these great, high-paying, high-educated jobs. Like, no, you got to have people to do the quote-unquote, blue-collar work, the average, the mediocre jobs. You have to have those type of people in in society. And it's not a bad job to have. Like I said, bus drivers working for the city, working for the government, these people have great pensions. They make good money. They're hardworking people. They have families. My whole thing is too, like a lot of women say, oh, I could do bad all by myself. I don't need to take care of no man. No one's asking you to take care of a man. Obviously, the bus driver is making 80 to 100K a year, but you would rather be alone in a bed by yourself instead of being held by somebody that potentially is a bus driver that could tell you, I love you, baby. I love you so much. Help you get through the day, hold you at night. You know what I mean? But you talk to some women, they will say, I would rather be alone than deal with the man that makes less money than them. Which, like I said, it's your preference, but Ebony, listen, you're allowed to have your preferences. Do you? It was just your delivery and the fact that you doubled down and tripled down. You never even did the slightest bit of an apology. And that's why I didn't fuck with your ass on The Real Housewives of New York.